Hey everyone, it's Doug Green, and I'm the publisher of Technology Reseller News. And I'm very pleased to have with me today Dave Erickson, co founder of Phound. Dave, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah. Hi, Doug. Thanks for having me.
So, today we actually have a big headline. We already have it up, people are already responding. Phound is offering a lifeline for Skype users as Microsoft shuts down service, has already shut down the Skype service. So, Dave, why are you doing this? Why are you offering people a choice?
Well, so the first thing, and I think it's kind of sad to see Skype end, right? It makes me feel old to see a company like that make its whole cycle. But honestly, I think the cycle's been shortened a little bit, and I think there's still a lot of people that like that functionality. Like that service, and I think we have similar type users at Found, and so I think that's a good match. But I think Skype's idea is that these people will be happy in teams, and honestly, I don't think they will be happy in teams. I think they're sort of a different type of user. I think they'd be happier at Found.
Well, why would they be happier at Found?
Well, I think that one, and this might sound a bit crazy, but it's kind of the vibe of Skype was sort of like an underlying free service, a free kind of vibe with some pay additives.
Right.
And one of the pay additives was to like have a phone number, either outbound or inbound. And that's kind of Found, right? We have free services, we have the same free vibe with a little different color. But we also have very similar upgrades where you can get a phone number and receive your calls or make outbound calls. And it's super cost effective, right? I think it's a completely different thing to go from Skype to Teams, and I think it's a completely different economic, and it's not like a free vibe and a fun vibe and like a social vibe or work, even like the small office vibe. I think it's Microsoft.
Well, putting aside Microsoft for a moment, you first of all made the big observation of the day. Skype wasn't born in Redmond. It wasn't born at Microsoft. It was, as you said, actually something more of a product, sort of fun product at a different brand elements. It was very open to everybody. You could walk in for free. And then you could even build it into as a business, Skype for business, or you could use it as a consumer service.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Skype as it was a really cool phenomenon in my eyes. Uh, it like took out like 50% of all international calling real quick, right? Like, I mean, it made a big impact on international calling, which is cool. But it also did it right by advancing the quality of sound, and so I think the first time a lot of people heard high definition voice, they were hearing it on Skype, and Skype had the old ISEC codec back then, pre you know pre the Microsoft purchase and things like that. But it was free. It had a lot of value internationally, and it was advancing. Right, it gave us better quality voice for the first time.
So you made a lot of points. In other words, the it was more than just, hey, this is sort of groovy. It offered someone an alternative to expensive overseas calls. It was kind of better than overseas calls. And then, as you stated, once you got a little taste of that, you might say, as a lot of people did, hey, I'll take this a little further. I'll pay a little fee. I'll get a phone number. Maybe I'll use it even for business. Now I've got a second number, which is kind of cool. Um, so now here we are, years later. Microsoft is basically telling everybody you just gotta migrate over to Teams. You've walked into the room and said, okay, I offer my service instead. So what is Found as opposed to Teams?
Well, I think on the same topic, um, we have that same feel that Skype had. I mean, I kind of tore I tore a page out of Skype's book, not a page out of Microsoft's book. So there's a big culture difference, I think, in the two. But Found is something that you can start with free of charge using your phone number. And you just use your phone number. You can do desktop calling with your wireless phone number or your home phone number, whichever phone number you want to register in Found. You can do over the top calling, right? So if you have an aunt that lives in some far off land or something like that, why she can just download Found for free. She can put her phone number in there for free, and then you can call her on that, much like say like WhatsApp, right? But then you can buy telephone numbers, and so the thing that Skype did was they added Skype out and Skype in, and they kept them separated, right? Because they didn't want to be regulated. Found's a little different in that respect. You can get in and out. You can get it on the same number. We are regulated, but we have all of the same over the top, high definition calling that Skype has. But we also have the integration with the phone. I would say our integration with the phone is much better than the integration that Skype had. I think also we allow you to do a lot of things with a phone number when you do purchase a phone number from us, and they're like $5 a month, and they include a full unlimited long distance plan and SMS, and so it's a really nice offering. So there's a lot of things that you can do once you get the number that isn't really available in Skype that you might find in like a Teams, but not at that kind of pricing. And so I think people that enjoyed Skype, like I enjoyed Skype, would enjoy Found, because I would say I probably replicated a few of their brilliant ideas at Skype as others did, and they're ideas that I don't think got used in Teams. I would say that Found on an individual level, like the people that use Skype use things as an individual level and not in like an enterprise level. That Found has many more features than Skype had, and would go head to head with Teams, but still has that great kind of free, easy to use vibe without getting totally wrapped into some big communication package.
Well, let's walk through some of those features, because one thing that stands out among the things you guys do is spam blocking. And that was always a problem with Skype.
Yeah. So, we have a complete ability to do what we call access control. So you can block every number outside of your contacts. You can build whitelists, blacklists. You can run CAPTCHA. There's a number of different ways to kind of filter incoming calls, just about every way possible. And so that's nice, because a lot of times, when I saw some numbers on Skype, it was interesting because the people were using the telephone number for just a few people. And their Skype account was really to contact about 5 people, right? And so I think it's a good match in that respect.
Now, you also mentioned in passing number portability.
Yeah, so we're a carrier, and one of the things we can do as a carrier, and we can help people out with their Skype numbers if they want to transfer them. We can port those numbers. There's some people that I believe still have active service, but they're on some other kind of countdown. There's other people that have left that had a number, and theoretically think that it might be gone. It may still be available. There's two different. There's one way of getting your number is to port it from an active service, and we would go in and see what we could port. And then the other one is if the numbers become inactive, just to find the carrier that's holding it and say, hey, we'd like to have that number because we have the old owner of it and he'd like to get that number. And so we would be willing to do, both of those processes. We can't really guarantee the second process, which is hey, if that number's available, we'd like to go get it. But I like your chances. I think I would give it a try.
And we were talking about this the other day when we first talked about Found in this series, that you have control over your persona and that you guys do verified identity.
Yeah, the verified identity is something that uh, we're very proud of. One, I think it's a great way to, kind of know who's calling, and Found is headed towards a world where people know who's calling. And Found is a company that believes in a stronger identity layer. And I tell people, the identity layer and telecom is broken, and they say, "What identity layer?" And I say, exactly, right? I mean, the identity layer in telecom is caller ID, and it's complete garbage, right? I mean, it's actually not good information to trust in any form, and it's not really an ID either. So it's very easily spoofed. And so Found believes in, as we go into the future, systems have to have a way to create a stronger identity layer than what's currently available.
Dave, are you, out there basically positioning Found as a replacement or something else?
Well, I think the good word is that it could replace what you were doing in Skype, but I would say that it's an upgrade, right? I think it'll put you on a new path to some new features, um, that are a little more modern. Things like IVR and different things done in a nice way, and introduce you to all of the things that come with Found. Found also has, a complete suite of collaboration products like online meetings and things. So you get a lot more use out of it than I think you would your normal. But it covers everything that Skype's did, right? But it has more. So yes, it's a replacement slash upgrade.
Well, when you tell me also that there's online meeting, I mean, that's how we work today, right? We have scheduled meetings. Where's the link? So that's a really great utility right there.
Oh yeah, and it goes up to like 1,000 participants, so it's a very strong offering.
So it's a scalable. To me, it sounds like it's very appropriate for a consumer or a small business. But as I think we discussed before, it's a scalable tool.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, it's fully robust. It isn't discounted or limited in any way, right? And I think that was kind of the thing that was cool about Skype. Neither was it
Right.
when it first came out, and I think we've done a lot of things in that vein, but it's a little more beyond, voice and video, right? It's a lot of the things that have come kind of since Skype was first introduced.
You get something better, and you're probably going to pay less. It's not a bad argument. Um,
That's that's the plan.
Now, is there a place for Skype users that are migrating to basically get on board?
Yeah, we've looked to make that really simple. So anytime a person's looking at change, um, the best thing you can do is try and make it as simple as possible and as painless as possible. And so we have on found.app a page that's dedicated to people that want to keep their Skype numbers and continue using that number for whatever it was they were doing before. And we would love people to join Found and port their numbers and look at all of the different features we have. And this page provides a very, very easy way to do that.
And it's interesting. You made me think of the many people out there that over time may have given up a home phone number that some people still might have for them, and they may wish to, maybe get it back and just have it available, or maybe even a landline that they used to use for their business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's very, very relevant to Skype, seeing that Microsoft made this decision. But you're exactly right, Doug. Like any number, whether it's the old landline in your home or
Right.
a number you had that you want to get back, or something to that effect, we would be able to look for it, see if we could get it for you and get you set up in a Found account so that you can start using it again and in high definition.
Well, I'm directly talking to my MSP and channel partner guys that are out there to remind them that, for example, I think almost every air conditioner or furnace, that type of thing, HVAC stuff that people have in their home, has a little sticker, And 9 times out of 10, that's stickers from some business and they've changed their phone number. They may know what their old phone number was, and but the homeowner is going to call that number. It's a good example of how many places these legacy numbers are still around. Someone's going to try to call that number, may have some utility in restoring that phone number for like what, $5 a month.
$5 a month gets you, the entire suite of package, unlimited calling, SMS, online meetings, video calling, the whole app.
Get a lot. All right. Well, where can we find this migration page and more information about Phound?
So at www.found.app, and right there from the home page will lead you to the Skype to Phound port your number.
Well, Dave, I'm looking forward to learning more about what happens now as people make this move. But for now, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Thank you, Doug. Always great.